Using electrical metallic tubing, also known as EMT, to sleeve non-metallic sheath cable, often referred to as NM cable for the purpose of protecting it when connecting to a surface-mounted dryer outlet, is not compliant with the National Electrical Code, or NEC. The NEC establishes comprehensive standards for electrical installations to ensure safety and proper functioning of electrical systems. When installing NM cable, it is crucial to adhere to the guidelines outlined in the NEC. These guidelines address various aspects of NM cable installation, including proper support, protection from physical damage, and allowable applications. The NEC specifies methods for securing and supporting NM cable to prevent strain on conductors and connections. Generally, NM cable must be supported at intervals not exceeding 4.5 feet and within 12 inches of enclosures, boxes, or fittings. This support helps to maintain the integrity of the cable and prevent it from sagging or becoming damaged over time. In situations where NM cable is exposed to physical damage, it must be protected by conduit, guard strips, or other approved means. The type of protection required depends on the specific environment and the potential for damage. The NEC also restricts the use of NM cable in certain locations and applications such as damp or wet locations, hazardous locations, and underground installations. These restrictions are intended to prevent electrical hazards and ensure the long-term reliability of the wiring system. While EMT can provide physical protection to wiring, simply sleeving NM cable through a section of EMT without proper installation methods does not meet NEC requirements. The NM cable must be installed in a manner that provides continuous support and protection throughout its entire length. This may involve securing the NM cable to the EMT using appropriate fittings and supports. Furthermore, the NEC requires that all electrical work be performed in a neat and workmanlike manner. This includes ensuring that all connections are properly made, that wiring is properly routed and supported, and that all equipment is installed according to manufacturer's instructions. Failing to comply with the NEC can result in electrical hazards, such as fires, shocks, and equipment damage. It can also lead to fines, penalties, and legal liabilities. Therefore, it is essential to consult the NEC and other applicable standards before undertaking any electrical work. If you are unsure about any aspect of NM cable installation or NEC compliance, it is always best to consult with a qualified electrician. A qualified electrician has the knowledge, skills, and experience necessary to ensure that your electrical work is done safely and in accordance with all applicable codes and regulations. They can also help you to select the appropriate materials and methods for your specific application. When installing a surface-mounted dryer outlet, it is important to follow the manufacturer's instructions and the NEC guidelines for connecting the appliance to the electrical system. This typically involves running NM cable from the circuit breaker panel to the dryer outlet location and connecting it to the terminals in the outlet. The NM cable must be sized appropriately for the dryer's amperage rating, and the circuit breaker must be properly sized to protect the circuit from overloads and short circuits. In some cases, it may be necessary to install a dedicated circuit for the dryer outlet. This is often required for electric dryers, which typically draw a significant amount of power. A dedicated circuit ensures that the dryer has an adequate supply of power and that it does not overload the existing wiring system. When connecting the NM cable to the dryer outlet, it is important to use the correct wiring methods and connectors. The conductors must be properly terminated and secured to prevent loose connections, which can cause overheating and electrical hazards. It is also important to ensure that the grounding conductor is properly connected to the grounding terminal on the outlet. The grounding conductor provides a path for fault current to flow back to the source, which helps to protect against electrical shock. After the dryer outlet is installed, it is important to test it to ensure that it is working properly. This can be done using a multimeter or a voltage tester. The voltage between the hot and neutral conductors should be approximately 120 volts, and the voltage between the hot and ground conductor should also be approximately 120 volts. If the voltage readings are not correct, there may be a problem with the wiring or the circuit breaker. In addition to following the NEC guidelines for NM cable installation, it is also important to follow all other applicable electrical codes and regulations. These codes and regulations may vary depending on your location, so it is important to check with your local authorities to ensure that you are in compliance. By following the NEC and other applicable codes and regulations, you can ensure that your electrical work is done safely and in accordance with all applicable standards. This will help to protect yourself, your family, and your property from electrical hazards.